In a curious town settled among moving slopes and verdant knolls, there was a legend of an affection so significant that it rose above time. The residents discussed Alicia and Thorne, two spirits laced through innumerable lifetimes, limited by an adoration that neither passing nor fate could cut off. Alicia was the girl of an unassuming metalworker, her days loaded up with the bang of iron and the glow of the manufacture. Her excellence was the discussion of the town, with eyes as profound as the woods and hair that gleamed like a fountain of brilliant wheat. However, it was her good nature and delicate soul that really charmed everyone around her. She had an uncanny capacity to mitigate the fiercest attitudes and give pleasure to the weariest hearts. Thorne, then again, was a vagabond. His past was an embroidery of experiences and far-off lands, yet the subtleties were covered in secret. He showed up in the town one fresh harvest time day, his presence as startling as an unexpected tempest. With striking highlights and a puzzling air, Thorne immediately turned into the subject of murmurs and inquisitive looks. Regardless of his held nature, there was something certainly attractive about him. Their gathering was absolutely destiny. Alicia was getting back from the market, her arms loaded down with merchandise, when a lost canine dashed across her way. Alarmed, she stumbled and sent apples moving toward each path. As she mixed to accumulate them, a solid hand arrived at down, offering help. She admired Thorne's puncturing look locked onto hers. Time appeared to stop, and in that short-lived second, a bond was manufactured. "Much obliged to you," Alicia mumbled, feeling a mysterious association with the outsider. "It's my pleasure," Thorne answered, his voice like a relieving song. "I'm Thorne." "Alicia," she expressed, incapable to tear her eyes from his. From that day forward, Thorne and Alicia were indistinguishable. They went through their days investigating the lavish open country, sharing accounts of their lives, and longing for what's in store. Thorne uncovered minimal about his past, however Alicia detected a profound distress inside him, a weight he conveyed with quiet effortlessness. She never squeezed him, believing that he would share when all was good and well. As the seasons changed, so did their affection. It developed further, and seriously consuming. They resembled two parts of an entire, each finishing the other in manners neither had imagined. The townspeople watched with esteem, persuaded that they were seeing something exceptional. One night, under a sky thrown with stars, Thorne drove Alicia to the edge of the town, to an isolated dell enlightened by the silver shine of the moon. He bowed before her, his eyes loaded up with a power that blew her mind. "Alicia, I have something to tell you," he started, his voice shudder somewhat. "I'm not who you think I'm. I come from a far-off domain, where time streams in an unexpected way. I have carried on with many lives, however in every one, I'm attracted to you. You are my anchor, my steady, my perpetual love." Alicia's heart dashed as she tuned in, her brain attempting to grasp his words. "What do you mean, Thorne?" "I was reviled some time in the past," he proceeded, his look never leaving hers. "Sentenced to meander the earth, looking for you in each lifetime. Our affection is the main thing that gives me comfort, however each time I find you, we are destroyed by destiny." Tears gushed in Alicia's eyes. She needed to doubt him, to excuse his story as a fantastical story, however where it counts, she realized he was coming clean. She had felt the association between them from the second they met, an unexplainable bond that rose above rationale. "Then we should break the revile," she said undauntedly, taking his hands in hers. "We should figure out how to remain together, regardless of the stuff." Thorne's appearance mellowed with adoration and appreciation. "I've pursued for quite a long time, however I trust that this time, with you close by, we can succeed." They looked for the inside of the town elderly folks, who talked about an old custom that could break the revile. It required the most perfect type of affection and an enduring obligation to one another. Thorne and Alicia promised to own it, regardless of the expense. The evening of the custom showed up, covered in a ghostly tranquility. The older folks accumulated in a sacrosanct circle, reciting spells as Thorne and Alicia remained in the middle, holding each other firmly. A splendid light wrapped them, and briefly, it appeared as though the actual texture of time was unwinding. As the light blurred, Thorne and Alicia ended up in a better place. They were in a tremendous, ethereal scene, where time had no significance and their spirits were revealed. They saw dreams of their previous existences, snapshots of affection and misfortune, and the on many times they had been isolated by savage bits of destiny. "We can do this," Alicia murmured, her voice reverberating in the void. "We want to accept." Thorne gestured, his assurance unfaltering. "Our affection is more grounded than any revile. We will break it, together." They caught hands and zeroed in the entirety of their adoration and energy into a solitary, strong idea: solidarity. The ground underneath them shuddered, and a splendid explosion of light emitted, encompassing them in its glow. The revile broke, dissolving into nothingness. At the point when they woke up, they were back in the town, the seniors checking out at them with wonderment. The revile had been broken, and without precedent for hundreds of years, Thorne was free. Their romantic tale turned into a legend, went down through ages as a demonstration of the force of genuine affection. Thorne and Alicia experienced their days as one, realizing that they had resisted predetermination itself to be together. Their adoration was, to be sure, interminable, an encouraging sign and motivation for all who heard their story. As the years passed, the town changed, yet the tale of Alicia and Thorne persevered. Darlings would visit the hallowed meadow, expecting to get a brief look at the ethereal couple whose affection had risen above time. The locals would tell the story to their kids, an update that genuine romance has no limits. Alicia and Thorne went through their days keeping an eye on the town, helping those out of luck, and esteeming each second together. They never required a solitary day for conceited, knowing how valuable their time was. Their adoration developed further as time passes, a demonstration of the force of their bond. One spring morning, as the blossoms sprouted, Thorne grasped Alicia's hand and driven her to the knoll where he had first uncovered his mysterious. They sat underneath the old oak tree, its branches giving a covering of green leaves. Thorne took a gander at Alicia, his eyes loaded up with affection and veneration. "We've made significant progress, Alicia," he said delicately. "I'm appreciative for each second we've shared." Alicia grinned, her heart spilling over with adoration. "What's more, I'm thankful for you, Thorne. You have given me an adoration that is past whatever I might have at any point envisioned." They sat in agreeable quietness, the hints of nature encompassing them. The revile that had once tormented Thorne was presently ancient history, supplanted by an adoration that was timeless. As the sun set, projecting a brilliant tint over the knoll, Thorne and Alicia advanced back to the town. They realized that their romantic tale would live on, in the hearts of the residents, yet in the actual texture of time itself. Years transformed into many years, and Alicia and Thorne became old together, their affection as solid as could be expected. They realized that their lifespan was limited, however they breathed easy because of realizing that their spirits were bound together, bound to find each other over and over. On a quiet harvest time evening, as the leaves fell delicately from the trees, Alicia and Thorne died, their hands laced. The locals grieved their misfortune yet took comfort in the information that their adoration had been genuinely perpetual. Rumors from far and wide suggest that on starry evenings, when the moon is full and the stars sparkle brilliantly, you can see the spirits of Alicia and Thorne moving in the dale, their affection a gleaming guide in the obscurity. Their story is an update that genuine romance is immortal, rugged, and timeless. The town proceeded to flourish, and the story of Alicia and Thorne was gone down through the ages, a treasured piece of the town's set of experiences. Darlings would visit the dell, roused by the persevering through adoration for the couple who had resisted destiny to be together. Thus, the legend of Alicia and Thorne lived on, a demonstration of the force of adoration that exceeds all logical limitations. Their affection was, to be sure, perpetual, an encouraging sign and motivation for all who heard their story.